And so we reach part 11 of the huge workshop cleanup series. Who knew there was that many parts? There's going to be more because I'm going to do some unboxing of some stuff and some eBay work and, basically sell some stuff and get some return on all my hard work. I think I'm up to around 20 hours. I haven't consulted the notepad recently. I did 3 hours again this morning. So it's adding up, but I'll be well paid for my time. Let's have a walk around and see what the shed looks like. The only cleaning really I have to do is just this corner, and I'm only going to knock that stand apart for firewood, so there's very little to go there, just a bit of scrap metal. And I've moved just about everything else. Now the storage units that I tried to give away didn't get any takers. I only put them on this morning. I'm taking them back to the shop. I'll put them out to the front of the shop for free and someone will drive past, spot them and can't live without them. That's my ramp. So everything's gone along that wall. Everything's gone along the back wall except for what stays, and we've cleaned the bench off really nicely. It looks fantastic. I think I'd be fairly safe to say that this is cleaner than when the old guy actually bought the place, because I think he said there was some stuff in here, but then again he can't remember what he had for breakfast. So anyway, I've got to pick the lathe up. Well, we've got to pick the lathe up hopefully tomorrow. Same with the pedestal drill. They're just too heavy for me to move. I think we can unbolt the lathe from the stand. It looks like it's really easy to do. I do believe you got to get them set up really well, like perfectly level, and I'm sure the book will tell me that, but feel free to throw any comments in, guys. There's a few of you that watch my channel that know all about these things, so you'll be my guiding shining lights. So we'll move that tomorrow. I'm going to try and sneak this big long bench into town. It measures about 14, almost 15 feet long, and I've got an 8-foot trailer. How do you think I'll go? Well, lucky it's not on the main highway. Still got to pack that trunk and the spray trailer. And really, all this rest of it's rubbish. Oh, there's a bit of pile stuff there. I ran out of boxes and milk crates. And for all you guys that have a dig at me about how many milk crates I own, I've actually ran out at the moment. So I've got the trailer loaded here, excuse the sunlight. A big workbench upside down, that other bench is also upside down. Those storage units I'm just going to put out the front of the shop, as I said, to give away. A little bit of stuff in the ute. So I'll take this in now and unload it, and I might come back this afternoon. Perhaps I can roll that spray trailer up onto my trailer. I did bring I've got one big ramp and I brought a couple of lengths of timber. And if that big steel bench isn't too heavy, I could turn it upside down. I did bring my piano trolley. I'll see if I can get it on the trailer, stick it over the front a bit. So 8-foot trailer, we can probably go over the front 2 feet maybe, although the crane's in the road, so I've got to put it to one side. So that's 10 feet, so 4 or 5 feet out the back. It's only a little bit illegal. The only trouble is by putting it on one side of the trailer and sticking it well forward, I won't be able to do a sharp turn on that side. Otherwise, I'm going to punch out my tail lights of the ute. So I have to be careful there. But yeah, all right, that's what we'll do. We'll go and unload the trailer now. We'll come back. I can certainly get this box on as well. And I'm not going to load up any rubbish at the moment, I don't think. I do have to be home later this afternoon to do a few other jobs. So I think we'll deal with the rubbish tomorrow or maybe even Friday. So, all right, let's get to it. It's now the next day. In fact, it's Thursday lunchtime. So we've been working hard this morning. There's been no time for any filming. My son Steve and my mate Dean have been helping. Dean's still here just doing some sweeping up. And we have totally emptied the shed. There is nothing left except dust in the atmosphere. We've finished this corner, neatened up, swept it down. And I think that will be very presentable for a potential buyer of this property to see a lovely big shed with so much potential. All I have is a pile of rubbish. Probably might come out to get that in the morning or maybe next week. There's not a rush for it really. The property is not going on the market for some time because the house hasn't been touched and it needs a lot of work. But my job here immediately was to do this shed, and we've knocked it over with some great help this morning. We've moved the lathe, we've moved the big bench. Well, as you can see, the big bench is on the trailer. Looks like a rocket launcher. We still have this bonfire wood and scrap metal, but everything else has been loaded. I'll show you what we've done with the lathe and the bandsaw and the pedestal drill at home. I've just got to finish tying this off. We've got a, you know, I think you're supposed to have a red rag when you've got an overload. I mean, you're also not supposed to have an over-length load, but at least that'll be a bit of high vis. We're only about 4 feet over at the back. And we've got more stuff in the ute. The big rubbish bin there is full of just rubbish, and I've got a bag of recycling as well. I've rounded up all my tools, so I've just got to finish tying this on, and we'll head back home. Well, I made it home okay, no problems. It's under 10 minutes drive, and it's not a major road, so that's all good. Now to work out where to put it, and I'll show you where I've put the lathe for now and what my immediate plans are, because a lot of you are asking where you're going to put all this stuff in your shed. There's no room. Well, that is correct. I do need to make room. So I've just put the lathe back here. It's undercover by a fairway, and I'm going to tarp it, and it's going to have to probably sit on the piano trolley for a while because I don't need that. We're not moving much furniture at the moment, and to get it off the trolley is a big hassle. To put it back on is equally a big hassle. Whereas these other two things I can maneuver quite easily with trolleys. I have a bandsaw that I picked up, and I was actually doing a video on that. I'll get back to that one day. We can make some room here. Now, there's still some stuff left over here from Luke, from Christine's son, who used to live with us for a while. And these old sewing machines Christine picked up, they're not mine. They're industrial sewing machines. And I think she was planning on giving them away, given that she's about to have shoulder surgery herself. And I don't think I've mentioned that to you guys. And she's decided that she might just give them away. They were given to her anyway, so that'll create a fair bit of room this end. That cupboard in there was destined for workshop use at some stage, as will the big blue bench that I've just got. So once we get room in the emergency storage shed, that's where they'll be going. And further along here, well, I've got a bit of my stuff to move, still left over from when I moved from the shop. And then there's a lot of farm stuff from the last trip. Now, under this blanket is Luke's motorbike, so that has to be picked up soon. We're not in the position to offer storage to family members, so hopefully we'll get that out of the road soon. This is our old air conditioner that got replaced recently, and I'm actually going to do a scrapping video on that. It does not need to be out of the weather, so I'll move that down the backyard. So I'm just going to rejuggle some of this stuff to try and get that big bench right along the wall. Then I can repack boxes on it quite neatly, and it should look less cluttered here than what it is. And that's probably my job for this afternoon. Some of this stuff has just come from this shed, but I'm trying not to overload my place with stuff from this shed. I have got another spot near our shop where I'm temporarily paying some storage. That's where a lot of it's gone. These old hall seats were from the farm. So a lot of this is either from the farm or my original move out from my shop, including that huge big engine analyzer, which I'll have to get cleaned up and probably put on eBay. And there's some boxes of wiring and stuff here, so a lot of this will actually tidy up fairly quickly. And if I can get that big bench along the wall of the house, and then I can use it to stack other boxes on for now until I make room in my emergency storage shed. So this is the front of the carport now. I would say at its worst, actually it's not as its worst. I have actually moved a couple of boxes. So I'm trying to now reduce this. I didn't get back to sorting the carport out the other day. I had other pressing jobs to do. But I'm now starting to take boxes and things from here back into my shed and sort it out. And gradually we'll compact this area. Some of the boxes up top there still just have rubbish and recycling in it, so they'll disappear pretty quickly. A couple of the bikes here, the others are around in the storage area. So I need to get onto this now. I'm not going back out to the place other than to move some rubbish for about a week or so, which gives me some days this week, or this coming week, it's Saturday now, to make some headway here and get this stuff stored properly. I have been doing some stuff down the back, and there's also just random boxes of metal. I will be keeping some of this metal, obviously, if I'm going to be doing some lathe work. I think that's good stock to use, but there's other pieces that might just go in the scrap. Well, there's a piece of copper, for example. So these boxes are fairly quick to sort, and some boxes even don't have very much in them. So we will reduce the quantity fairly quickly. And of course, other things are actually just shelving to be used. So I'll try and find some space for that very soon. A small pile did get placed on our deck. I certainly don't want to have shop stock taking over our house, but when things are a squeeze, you know, you've just got to put stuff where you can, and I will be dealing with that very soon. That'll be almost a priority, that pile. Now I've certainly started sorting out some boxes, and this is all non-ferrous. This is all stuff to be sorted later with as I'm processing. So I'm not trying to sort all the aluminium, brass, copper, electric motors, transformers, everything separately as I go. I'm just basically doing the next stage of sorting, and scrap will be put in these boxes to be processed a little bit later on, where they'll stack quite neat. I'm pulling out stuff to go straight to the shop. Excuse me for a tick. Coco, what's up? Oh, you're after your ball. Here we go. Well, she's got to have some fun. So this stuff's going to the shop. There are some floodlights. There are various electrical bits that I think I can sell. I'm testing a lot of stuff as I go. The motorbike horn works. That fan does work. It's 110 volts AC, that fan. There's switches and battery terminals and these are a couple of 3-point linkage pins stuck to a base magnet from an antenna. All this stuff I think I can sell pretty easily. So as I'm sorting, I'm filling a box to go straight to the shop. I'll price that today. It will be in stock today and probably even sell some today. So that's how we're pumping it through fairly quickly. I have to scrap this lawnmower base. It's not worth saving. And around this side of the shed, out in the weather, because it doesn't need to be undercover, I'm keeping the wire separate, and also we have a crate there for electric motors. And I did mention that I'm going to keep a track of the scrap metal that comes out of this deal, and there's going to be a lot of wire. As for the steel, I'm not going to keep track of that. I'm just going to pack it into crates and buckets here. I get 30 kilos per tub, like I used to do when I was cleaning up the old shop backyard, and I will take that to the scrapyard in Melbourne when I do a trip next. So I'm not accounting for that. That'll just be a nice little bonus. I am keeping a lot of steel bits that may be handy, but I can't keep everything, so that's destined for the scrap pile, that lot. So that's how my sorting's going. I am out in the shed most evenings. I also like to come out here for an hour or so before I go to the shop on the weekends. So we're going to get a fair bit of time to process it. I'm going to go hard at it. I'm also going to be eBaying some stuff. So I want to really up the ante on my eBay, particularly because we're going to have to deal with the spray trail of the motorbikes, and I don't want to pay storage on those for too long. So we'll do separate episodes on those, and that should be interesting to see how much return we get there. I'll keep processing the scrap, and we'll keep a running tally of how much scrap value we're going to get, and then I'll just keep pricing stuff for the shop. And I won't be unboxing all that stuff for you because we're doing enough unboxing with the emergency shed clean out. So thanks for watching this episode. This was episode 11, I think. Episode 12, we might run some stuff through eBay, or I might find something really cool to show you. I'm not sure. There might be a little bit of a break before the next episode because I do have to get on to some repair jobs around here. I also have to have to remove the rubbish from the shed, and I'll probably in a week or two start the next stage of that property clean out, which will be another series, I guess. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next video. Bye for now.